Hi guys, it's Corleen again. I am going to do one more attempt at this whole marbling effect because the second video I saw wasn't happy with that one either, so I'm going to attempt it one more time. I'm going to turn my camera this way so it's pointing the right way instead of sideways. Now I went ahead and I got 3 swatches here. This is more of a brown color. Now I'm using Models 1 dipping powders. They don't have the names of them, but this is the dipping powder I'm using. They come in the same size jars as the large Dipsy Dip jars, so they're the same amount. This one was more like a sherbety, like light color. I find it's very, very pretty, which is number Z92. I just don't know the colors. I'm gonna have to look them up. And then this one was a beautiful, this one's gorgeous. Now this one, because it's a glitter, I had to put a top coat over that and then file it down, buff it down. And that one, it's just gorgeous. I want to show you what it looked like. This is what it looks like. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous color. And this is the color that made me buy this kit. I got this kit off of Mercari. It is a used set. So I don't expect it to be, you know, let me see if I can move my light down here. I want you to be able to see. I didn't expect it to be a brand new thing. I knew that it was going to be used, and that's okay. The person that had it took really good care of it. Hopefully you could see everything okay, and it's not dulled. My light is like literally, it's in the way of my holder here, so it's kind of making a shadow. So I'm going to try again, and I'm going to start with the brownish gray one here, so I can show you again what this technique looks like with color behind it, because the one that I did with the this one, I'm not happy with it, with the clear, with the clear glitter behind it. I want you to really, really see what it looks like. You know, how pretty it can be. So hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing and there's no shadowing. So I'm going to use browns on these because of the background of it. So I'm going to use brown, and I'll probably put a little bit of red, some dark blue maybe in there. And I'm just going to wing it. I'm just going to wing the colors. I think I'm going to start with black first on this one. And this time, I'm going to use the fine tip on this one and see how that looks. So I'm just going to start by drawing, and I'm sorry that my phone is all wiggly. I'm just going to start by drawing lines like this, like a spider kind of like thing, veining with the black. And I'm going to go ahead, instead of mixing all the colors together, I'm going to blend this black line before I add the next color. And I hope you can see how well the line is showing up, as so it looks like veining on this one with a color behind it. It's really, really pretty. And I'm just going to manipulate these lines so they spurse out. I don't want them to look like a drawn line, like I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? You want it to look like a marble. Oh, phone stopped shaking. I'm just going to go over here and kind of like blend those colors down in, so it looks marbly down below. Put a lot of black in this one. Now, because this turned out really dark here, I'm going to take it and I'm going to rub some of this away. And you can do that with the alcohol. That's what's great about it. Because I really want to have the definition of the line there. See how it just swipes it away? I'm going to go over here and we're just going to manipulate this line. Just follow the way that I, scribbled it on there. And I think I'm going to leave some of these lines a little bit darker so they'll pop through. Okay, I'm happy with that. These dry really, really quick. Clean my brush off. And I think my next color, I think I'm going to go in with, let me try maybe a green. Maybe I'll try a light green. I'm not sure how this green will work with the brown, but I'm going to try it. If it doesn't show up, I'll go darker. And I'm going to go up here and I'm just going to draw the green line. And if you find that the colors aren't popping, you can go in a second time and go over those lines. And they do get darker as you're going over them. I think that's good. Let me put a little bit of green over this side. So hopefully you can see the green that's in here with the lighting. Clean my brush off. And then I'm going to go in again with the alcohol, but this time I'm going to dab some of that alcohol away and I'm going to blend the green. Just very, very gently blend that green. You want it to look like a marble. Manipulate it into the black. Oh yeah, this is looking really good. I like that right there. I think that looks gorgeous right there. I should have brought my light down so you can see what I'm talking about. So I like the green, and now I'm going to try a little bit of red. And I'm using all fine tips on this one. And I'm just, no rhyme or reason, I'm just going to like do some weird shaped little things with a little bit of red. I might do a little dot of red here so there's more prominent red over there. And that's it. I think that's what I'm going to do for all I'm going to do for the red. There's no right or wrong way of doing this. Like I said, a child can do this. It's like finger painting. It's almost like scribbling. Manipulate some of that red over here. Just want to get that manipulated. So there's red that goes into this part right here. So it blends in. Then I'm going to take this big dot of red. And I'm just going to smear it out so it kind of looks like that. And just a little bit over here. Yeah, I like that. I think that looks really, really pretty. And then the next color, I'm going to go in there and I think I'm going to try, let's try a little bit of yellow. I think I want like a more of a burnt yellow. Well, this is the darkest one I have, number 35. And we're going to put some yellow into this pretty thing. I think I'm going to fill in yellow right here. And that little dot. Put some yellow down in the tip. Put some yellow up in here. Some yellow over here. I think that's good for yellow. And I don't think I'm going to manipulate the yellow. I think I like the way that looks with the yellow showing through like that. Yeah, I really like that. I think that looks gorgeous. And then the next step is I'm going to go in and I'm going to use black. Actually, I don't know if this will show up. This is like a dark charcoal. I don't know if I want to do a prominent black line. Let's see how this works. If this doesn't show up, then I'm going to use the black. Well, that's kind of showing up. I just want to give it some really definite lines, but I don't want it to be like in your face kind of. I think I'm going to put a line right here. Some cracks and maybe over here. Yeah, I think that looks good. And as you can see, you just go over it. And the darker it is, the more you go over it, the darker it is. I think that's good. Now I'm going to take my alcohol, and I'm just going to take a tiny, tiny little bit, and I'm going to manipulate these gray lines just ever so gently, so it kind of like breaks up and it goes into the red. So I'm not rubbing the line. I'm right in front of the line, and the alcohol, once it sets in there, it moves that line and gives it that natural kind of crackly look. Everywhere that I put that gray, I want to put some alcohol because I really want to manipulate those lines. Over here. See how natural that's looking? I'm really happy with this one. This one's turning out way better. Go over here and manipulate this line. Have it kind of blend in with the red. And over here, let's take a little bit of this yellow and blend it into that red. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think this looks gorgeous. I think that's good. Now, if I can bring this light down, can you see that? Do you see how that looks? I wonder if I could lay my lamp down straight like this without it being in the way of the tutorial. Let me try to put it. Sorry, I'm so sorry I'm moving this light around making my thing go around, but I really want you to see the colors. That's not working that great either. It was better when I had it, bring it down. It was better when I had it this way, but you can see what I'm talking about. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to top coat it. Not top coat, I'm going to base coat it, and you're going to float it. If I shut off my light real quick and unplugged it, I'm sorry guys, and brought it around, I would be able to bring it over here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So I apologize. I'm not, as you can see, I'm not. Oh, so sorry, so sorry. I should have had this set up. I was eating dinner and I'm like, you know what, honey, I'm going to go in there and try some more swatches because I'm not happy with the one that showed up. Not happy with it at all. Whoops. There we go. There, that's much better. You can really, really see the colors now. Now I'm going to take my base coat and you're going to float it. Now this base coat, as you can see, has glitter in it. This is my my play around base coat. So when I'm doing swatches and whatnot, I use this base coat. What I mean by floating is you're going to make sure this brush is completely full of the base coat, and you're going to start from the top and you're just going to make like a big dollop of the base coat and you're just going to tap it down. So you're floating that base coat on the top of the nail so it's not interfering with the colors. You don't want them to bleed. You want it to stay right the way that you had it. This is super pretty. And then you can really see, you can see where there's no base coat by moving your nail or your swatch back and forth. And you can just kind of like, because it'll have like a matte finish that's completely covered. I'm going to wait for that to dry. I'm just going to wait a couple seconds for it to get tacky. Because base coat, it dries quick. And then I'm going to go in and I don't know if I'm going to do some glitter in there. I might add some, I have some I do have some stuff in here that I can try, but I really don't want to mess it up, you know. I have some of this. I don't want to mess it up, you know. It's really pretty the way it is. I'm kind of iffy. These things are so hard to open. There you go. Let me see what this blue looks like. Because it does have, I just don't want to take it. I don't want to take from the look of the marble, you know what I'm saying? So maybe I'll take my little dabber tool here. I know I have one out. Where is it? There it is. Maybe I'm going to take my little dabber tool and I'm just going to pick up some flakes and just drop them randomly in certain areas, because I don't want it to take from the look of the design, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm liking that now that I'm putting it on there, to be honest with you. Put some up there. I did this earlier with the silver, but I used the, I ended up using foil, the foil ribbon, and I wasn't happy about it, but I can manipulate these so they look like lines almost. I'm not feeling it, but I've already started, so I might as well, I'm committed to it, so I might as well just put a little bit more in there, just a tiny bit, in random spots, and call it a day. So that's just a test for me to know if I'm going to like doing it. I don't like it. I think I should have just went with my gut. If I can get this to shut now. They make these little cases so tiny, they're hard to, and I don't want to lose my glitter. There we go. Put it on there, slide it. Get it, there we go. So, what do you think, guys? Do you think it took from it? I could probably go back in, because it's not really all that dry yet, because I haven't activated it, and move it around just a little bit more so they're not so chunky. Because I think some of these are just too big for the look of this. It's almost dry. Oh well, it's on there, nothing I can do about it. It's pretty, it's just, I think it's just, I don't know, they're too big. So now I'm going to take my activator and I'm going to activate that so it really is dry. And I'm just going to dab it in certain areas, and you'll be able to feel this really drying up. You'll be able to, because it gets really tacky, and you know that it's dry. I can already feel the tackiness of it. Make sure I got all the areas, all the bases covered. Let that dry for a second. It's pretty. I'm just, I don't know, I'm not liking the I should have just left it alone. That's already dry. So now I can go in and I can top coat. Now if this was, like I said, my nail, I would not top coat right away. I would let it dry a good 3 minutes, because, you know, the activator, you want to make sure that activator is completely dry, because you don't want to take away your shine. Take my top coat, and you're just going to do the 1-2 swipe. 1, 2. You're going to let that dry. You can take a clear dip and dip over this if you'd like, and then buff it out with your not so ordinary buffer, and then put the top coat on it. But I feel you don't need it. I mean, I don't think it's going to damage your marble, marbling in there and stuff. I think just the top coat is all you need. I really wish I didn't put those blue flakes in there. And then I'm going to go back in, and now I'm going to really put a nice layer of top coat on this and call it a day. Okay, so that one was with the brown base. Can you see that? I'm not feeling the glitter. So, hey, whatever. That's what happens when you're playing around with stuff. Now, let's try this one. Now, this one was dipped with 3 of this rose gold color, and then dipped with clear, and then I activated it, and then I buffed it, and then I cleaned it really well with an alcohol swab pad to get off any of the residue, and now I'm ready to play with this. So I think with this one, I'm going to do all pinks and purples. So I'm going to do all pinks and purples with this one because I love the color. This one I'm going to do it with like the bigger splotch side, the bigger side with these. And I'm just going to go right down in there and just do whatever thick lines of this, any random spot. I'm going to take some purple, do it with the big spot, the broad tip. Put some purple in there. I think it'll look really pretty with that rose gold that's in there and stuff. And then I'm going to play around with that with the alcohol. And make sure I clean my brushes after because this brush is getting really, really hard. So the good thing about I take my soap off and I put a little tiny bit in a cap, and I soak the tips of my brushes in that, and it literally cleans these brushes right up. So I'm going to just set that right over here and let it soak, and I'm going to get another little tiny brush. It doesn't matter what what size. I guess I'll try it with this one. This is a bigger kind of brush because I'm working with a thicker line, and I'm trying to manipulate the marbling with the pink. I think it might be even prettier if I put a little bit of blue in there, I think maybe. I'm just going to mix these around, go over those lines. I don't want prominent lines just yet. I want it to be almost like a tie-dye with the glitter. I don't want it to be a marble. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to take, let's try a little bit of blue. I think that'll look really gorgeous with it too. And I'm going to dab some blue in here. Get some blue going on. No rhyme or reason, just put it in there. Because we are doing a tie-dye now on this one. And you can just literally take this brush and just dab the blues. Just dab it on there. And it will spread out. So we're getting that tie-dye look. It's really pretty. Let that dry a second. And then maybe yellow? Yeah, I think yellow is another color I'll try. I think I want a darker yellow. Make sure that's completely dry. It's alcohol, so it dries extremely quick. So sorry about my light moving. And I'm just going to dab some yellow in here. Yeah, I think that's looking really good. Take my brush, and I'm going to manipulate this yellow around because we want that tie-dye effect. Yeah, I like that. Go back in, do a little bit more blue. Maybe I'll do a darker blue this time. Maybe I'll do the purple. Some purple in there. So we can bring out some of that purple in the tie-dye. I'm not sure if green will look good. I'm going to stay away from green. I'm going to go by my gut and just stay away from the green. And I'm just going to dab it. So we're getting that tie-dye effect. It's so pretty. Maybe a little tiny bit of black. Like, again, I'm just winging this. I mean, it's no rhyme or reason how I'm doing this. I'm just winging it. I think black would look really pretty in some areas. Probably make some of these colors pop out. Here. A little bit right there. I think that should be good. Oops, I keep wanting to grab that brush. And I'm going to manipulate this black. Just so it's just kind of peeking through. It really brings out that purple too when you go over it. That's looking gorgeous. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Should I try green or should I just leave it at that? Maybe a really dark purple. I mean a really dark pink. Put some dark pink in there. And manipulate these pinks to blend by dabbing. See how it's just blending that pink in with all the colors? By just dabbing over that pink, it spreads out with the alcohol. And I think I'm going to end it there. I think that looks gorgeous. And I might end up putting a little bit of silver in there with this. Just a touch, not very much. I just want it to be subtle. Subtle areas of the silver. Which will make the colors pop. Find areas to put it. Fill in this area right here with silver. Maybe down in here. Let's put some silver over here as well. Maybe right there. In that black. So it kind of brings out the black. I think I'm good. I think we're good with the silver. Now we're going to activate again. We want to make sure those paint lines, they dry quick, but I still want to just dab on here and make sure it activates those paint lines of glitter. You can see how it goes off on your brush. Just comes right off. Just wipe it. Let that activate. While that's activating, look at this. Look how beautiful this turned out. I'm not feeling the blue still, but oh my goodness. Can you see that? Super pretty. We are dry. Now I'm going to go in with my top coat and we're going to do the 1-2 swipe. One, two. Whew, this is so gorgeous. Let that dry. Really, really pretty with the rose color through it. Let that dry. Just a couple seconds. I like this tie-dye. Go back in, do a second coat, just coat this puppy to your heart's content, and then call it a day. And this one is done. Gorgeous with the rose gold underneath it, with that silver and the colors. I love it. So pretty. Okay, so now on to the next one. My next one is this orangey kind of peachy color. So I think this one I'm going to do some oranges, just oranges, and show you how you can marbleize with orange. So I'm going to take the big broadside and I'm just going to make some lines of orange. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just going to scribble it on here like this. Get some orange going, because when I activate it, it'll gather to one side and you'll see those prominent orange lines really well. Whoops. Let me check on my brush. This is good to go. Love that. Starting nice and clean and soft. When I'm all done with my brushes, I do go in and I do take the my cuticle oil and I wipe my brushes with it to keep their shape. And you don't put a lot, you put very, very little. I'm going to clean off the pink that's on my brush here. Get it all nice and clean. Make sure there's no residue of pink. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to play with my orange. And I'm going to make it so it has really, really prominent veining of the orange. I think someone's calling my phone. At least it sounds like it. You can just see how you can just move this around and just get the lines in there. I think that's where I'm going to end that. And then I'm going to go in and take another orange. Just the orange. Actually, I'm going to try it with red. Let's put a little bit of red in there. Some thin lines of red. I think that would look really pretty. Doesn't have to be no specific way. I'm going to go back to using my little brush. And I'm going to manipulate these lines and bring some of that red down through the orange. Ooh, that vein looks really, really nice. Get some of that red over here. Happy with that line. That looks so good. Leave it like that. And then let's see. Let's try. What other colors do you think I should put in there? Should I put a little bit of aqua blue? I think aqua blue would look really, really pretty with that peach. Let's try that. Let's put a little bit of aqua blue in there. I'll just do like a line right there. I don't want to overpower it with the aqua blue. I'm just going to put it just a little bit. And then we're going to manipulate this line to make it look like granite. Go in between the V here. Manipulate that line. Just like that. And then over here, and you're just playing around with it. There's no rhyme or reason. Yeah, I like that. I think that's gorgeous. And then maybe I'll try purple. Here I'm thinking I was going to do all orange, and I'm finding out that I'm liking the colors. I think this time I'm going to bring a vein up through all these cracks. Like this. Just one purple line this way. And maybe one down this way. And we're just going to blend this very, very gently. See how really, really fine that line got? You don't want to take away the lines of the other ones going the opposite way, so you got to be very careful with it. Okay, that's looking gorgeous. Yeah, yeah, love that. Love, love, love that. And then I'm going to add some black. Just a tiny touch. I'll probably have it a little bit of black down here, just a tiny little line. One that goes across this way and ends right there. I think that's all I'm going to do for black. Again, there's no rhyme or reason. It's whatever you see, envision in your head is what you're bringing out onto the swatch or your nail. Oh God, yeah, that's so pretty. Look at that, guys. Go over here and manipulate this line. Make sure it goes all the way across. And you're just going to make sure that line kind of blends in with the colors as well, because you want it to look like veins. I'm going to leave that dark spot. I kind of like that dark spot. Thin it out just a little bit. That looks gorgeous. Down here, looks like a hot mess a little bit, so I'm going to clean it up just a little. A little bit of alcohol. Isn't that great how you can clean it up? Look at that. So pretty. And then one more color, which I think I'll do dark blue. I'll have it go up through here and then branch off down through this way. Manipulate that blue line so it doesn't look like it's drawn there. Doesn't take much. You're just manipulating that so it looks like it's a natural formed crack. I think I'm good. However, over here, I did take away my green line, so I'm going to go back in here and I'm going to reform a green line right in there because I took away my green line, which went down this way. I want my green line to stay there. I don't want it to disappear. Down there. There we go. Whoops. blend this green line so it's very, very subtle. I don't want a big, thick green line. See how I did that real subtle? Do it up here too. You're pretty much taking it almost away, but you just want a subtle crack. Very, very subtle. And I'm going to call that a done. I might go around and outline this whole entire thing with black to kind of like close it in. Let's try that. Again, I'll probably regret doing this, but what the hell. I've seen girls do this with theirs. They kind of like close it in. They kind of like frame it in with a very faint black line. And you don't really need a steady hand. All I'm doing is I'm leaning this brush up against the edge of the swatch and I'm tracing. And I'm going to do my tip. See how that is? And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to manipulate that line because I don't want it to look like it's been drawn there again. You just want to blend it in, kind of blend it. And all it does is gives it a framed look around it. When I watched the videos, I was like iffy about it. I'm like, I don't know if I like the line, but I'm going to try it out and see how it looks. A lot of people like it encapsulated with, traced with the line. So I'm just going to try it out on this swatch and see how I feel about it. Don't mind that hot mess up there. It's on the flat part of the swatch. Let's get this line so it's not so prominent. I want it to be very faint. Very faint all the way around. Okay. I guess I kind of do like it framed in now that I see it. Yeah, I think I like it framed in. Again, I'm going to go in with some silver. I just have to have bling. It probably looks good without it, but I just have to have it because that's just me. I'm all about glitter. I'm just going to do little tiny, just ever so slightly, little tiny things of bling. Nothing overbearing. I think I'm good. Put a little bit right there. I think that's good. Nothing too overwhelming. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to float my base coat. So it's a big, big dollop on the top and we're going to float it. Trust me, when you go to swipe this, if you just swiped without floating this on the top, it will smear all these colors and you will not see the finished product that you just designed there. I didn't activate it this time because I'm just gonna, usually I would activate the glitter, but I'm gonna just go ahead and put the top coat, the base coat on it and then activate it. So I can get both of it done at one time instead of doing it twice. Take my activator, dab away with the activator so this will dry. That looks so pretty. Now let that dry. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Dry that. I could see that some of it is bleeding on this one. I think it's because, you know how I said before, when you put your base coat on, you want to let it set a second and let it kind of like harden. I went right in and I did the activator on top of it, kind of ran, but that's okay. I'll let it dry and then I'll just go over it real quickly with some of the veining. Okay, we're dry. So I can just bring some of that veining back in there, which is great about this stuff. I could just draw it back in there and then go back over it. Get where my blue was. I could see where all the colors were, so I'm just going to do it very slightly. I'm not going to overwhelm it with the veining and stuff. But I do want to bring back some of my color because it did run. And it was looking super, super pretty. See how it still works on the top coat, the base coat. You're just blending that down in. I want some of these lines to pop through again because I kind of took them away. Just go through all those lines. It's coming back to life again. Put a little bit of green in there because I noticed the green is gone as well. That's what's forgiving about this. These alcohol pens, it's so forgiving. I mean, you can just fix your boo-boos and not sweat it. Just gonna go in here and I'm gonna blend some of these, fixing my boo-boos. I was in a rush and I knew not to put that activator, that base coat. That activator over that base coat that quick. I think it's purple. I think the last one is purple. Let's put some purple back in there. And then we'll call it a day. Some purple right there. There's purple down in here. And after this is done, I'm not going to, I'm not going to be so quick with throwing on the activator on top of the base coat because I kind of messed it up. But I think this is looking really good again. Yeah, I like that. Now back to the base coat. We're going to float it again. Just float it right across the top. We don't want to take away our design like I did before. And this time I'm going to make sure I do not put that activator on there until it's set. Yeah, this is looking gorgeous. Really loving this. You still see the glitter through it. You can see that I brought back the veining. I like the line all the way around, except for up here. This is a hot mess, but this is on the stick part. So there's nothing I really can do about that. I don't think I can remove that. Let me try. No, it's already been sealed. Once you seal it, it's there for good, so. I think it sat there for a little bit. Now I can go ahead and activate it again. activate. Just the areas that I did. Because I didn't do all of it, you know what I'm saying? I only did a couple lines here and there. It's good. And the activator, all you need is drops because it does disperse evenly across the nail. You don't need to really swipe the whole thing with this. I'm going to let that dry a second. What do you think? Isn't that pretty? I can see that it's already, yeah, it's already dry. I'm going to do my 1-2 swipe. 1, 2. Wait a second. Oh, that's so pretty. I do like how it framed in around the edge. I mean, I could have done a little bit better with the blending over here, but you know, it's okay. This is a swatch, and you guys are getting the basic idea of how to do it. That's all that matters. Let's put my last coat, and you can just go to town with this one. Clean your brush, and that is it. So you got to see the three that I did. These are the 3. Again, I'm not feeling the blue foil, the blue flakes in there, but hey, it's a learning curve. The one that I did earlier today, the one I wasn't happy about, I don't know what I did with it, was this one with the clear below it. I mean, the translucent silver, because there's no color. I'm not feeling that one. It's pretty, but again, and even with this one with the tie-dye, you can see the glitter takes away from the effect of it. They just look so much prettier with a solid color behind it. These are all the ones I've done today. This is my very first one that I did. That's where I put the silver foil ribbon. I hate that. The color underneath is pretty, but this was my very first attempt, so I'm not happy with that one. And then where's my other one? I know I have another one floating around. Here it is. The light is on it. And then I did the green. And then this was my second attempt one here. This was my second attempt one, which is simply stunning. My second attempt. You can see all the colors through there. And again, see, there's no rhyme or reason, and they're all different. There's no 2 alike, which I love about that. No 2 alike, and you can do so many things with it with the alcohol ink. I'm really loving it. Will I use a glitter base? Probably not. Even I do like this one, but I think it would look so much better if it was just a solid color along with this one. But the rest, oh yes, still not feeling that one. But that's it, guys. I hope that helped you out now, and hopefully you were able to, let me take my phone down. I'm sorry about my hand in the way. Let me turn my camera. Hopefully you can get an idea of how this is, how to do it, because it's super easy, and have fun with it. Just have fun with it. That's all you have to do, is just have fun with it. And that's it. Wow, I'm glad I plugged my phone in. It was only at 5%, so it probably dulled down with the light. Hopefully that didn't affect it. I don't know, so I don't have to do another tutorial over. It's getting late at night, and I've just been in here playing with my nail stuff. It's a toy. That's it, guys. Ta-ta for now.